so tired of playing with this bow and arrow.
Hi, this is Steph Cuthbert and welcome to Monday Morning Chat. Last week I wasn't able to film and upload a video because I actually put my back out. So I apologize for that. But today I thought that I would talk a little bit about process. I get asked quite frequently what my day is like, what it's like being a writer. So I thought that I would answer those questions here. So my day actually starts off like many other people's would. I am a writer and also a parent. I have two children who are school aged. One is in kindergarten and one in year 5. So my day starts out pretty much like any other working parent. I get up, do breakfast thing, get myself ready and drop the kids at school. When I come home, it's usually 8:30. I make myself some breakfast and a coffee and I sit down at my desk in my office. Now, I usually spend about half an hour here doing social media work. So I will share some of my blog posts, go on Twitter and see what other writers are up to, share some of their things. So 9 o'clock is when I start writing. Of course, depending on what project I'm working on at what time will sort of impact on the actual work that I do. But I work from 9 o'clock. I use the Pomodoro technique, which you might have heard of. There's an app for it, I know, on the iPhone, but you don't really need an app. All you need is a timer. It's work 25 minutes, have a 5-minute break. For every 2 lots of 25 minutes that you do, you have a longer break, say 15 minutes. And I basically work like that all day. I break for lunch anywhere between sort of 11:30 and 1:30. It depends on how good the writing is. If the writing's not good, I stop a little bit earlier. I'll have lunch about 11:30. I take half an hour. That's all. I usually make notes in that time. I catch up social media stuff. I do maybe read or look at Pinterest and my inspiration boards on there for ideas if I'm blocked. Then after my half an hour lunch break, I get back to work and I continue in the same method, 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off, until it's 2:30 and I stop for the day to pick up my kids. Now I work like this 4 days a week. So Fridays are a little bit different from my Monday to Thursday writing. Fridays I do a lot more social media. I write my blog posts and do work on my website. I film Monday Morning Chat on a Friday. And I put on my publisher hat and do anything that is outstanding in that sort of area, or on the business side. That's my usual Friday. Now, of course, what I'm actually working on impacts the way that I work. So I would still do my 25 minutes, but say if I'm working on a first draft, I would be just trying to chuck as many words on the page as possible. I can do about 1,000 words in 1 hour. So if I'm working from 9 until 2:30 with a half-hour break for lunch and say a half-hour in 5-minute breaks scattered throughout, then, realistically, that's a little bit more than the 2,000 or 3,000 words that I normally get down. 3,000 is what I aim for. 2,000 is a really good day. I used to aim for 1,000 words a day, and before that I aimed for 500 words a day, and before that it was 250. So as I've sort of got more confident and gotten better at writing, I do write a lot quicker. If I'm editing, here there's sort of editing is this massive broad umbrella which covers everything from sort of, doing your second draft, working out all the kinks of your story and doing a structural edit, right through to sort of, copy and line edits. So I find it very hard to put a definite goal on it. But say I was on the second draft, I would be sort of saying to myself, okay, well, I need to do a total read through. That will take 2 days. Then I need to do a total read through and take notes. That will take another 2 days. Okay, for that section, that's my week. That's my week done. And then sort of any further on from that, I would be looking at editing. How many pages can I edit per day? So then I would say aim for 10 pages, and I would still work in 25-minute blocks with a 5-minute break and aim to have 10 pages edited a day. Some days that, I can do more than that. I could do, 20, 30, 40 pages a day. Some days, I could edit 2 pages, but they were 2 really vital pages that weren't didn't come out properly in the first draft process. So editing is like this mixed bag. I'll put up a picture of my whiteboard at the moment. And what you'll see when you look at it is a lot of projects. So I have the Genesis Guardian Chronicles. The first book, The Amulet of Hearts, is coming out on the 22nd of September. And I have several books in that series. And I have all my figures, so how much is drafted, what stage each book is in, the expected publication date for them all, because of course being independent, I'm author publisher, so I need to know all of this information. I also have plans for 2 novella series. So novellas are a little bit different. So where my novels would sit at around 70,000 words, my novellas will sit at more likely 20. So I have 2 novellas in different stages. The one set of novellas I am currently researching, so that's sort of brand new. Another set of novellas I have that I'm working on, I actually started to write as a novel for NaNoWriMo, but it will actually work better as novellas. So at the moment, I'm going to work on splitting that chunk of work up into smaller books. So as you can see, that's 3 major projects. So while it looks like I have three major projects running simultaneously, and I do technically, I don't work on them all at the same time. Some writers will spend, their sort of morning drafting one project and the afternoon editing another. I can't do that. I only have the block of time when my children are at school. I don't write when they're at home, or I do very, very rarely. And so I really need to cram all that work in. Plus, when I'm in a drafting stage, I just like to knock that baby out. I just want to slam those words on the page. So, my plans, I'll put up my my whiteboard again. So my plans, you can see I have a weekly goal, a monthly goal, and I keep track of every project where it's up to. So next week, I've done my whiteboard for next week. Next week, I'm starting writing Dark Side, which is one of my novella series. Now this one, I don't have any sort of anything to work from. It's just all fresh, fresh drafting with, the bit of research that I've done. So I aim for 3,000 words a day, 4 days a week, and that will take me 2 weeks to write 24,000 words, which is one novella. Once that's done, I will then put it aside. I'll let it sit while I go and do the edits for The Sacrifice, which is the other novella series. Now, the second book in the Genesis Guardian Chronicles, so the book 2 after the Amulet of Hearts, which will be released in September, that is halfway drafted. So once I have my edited Sacrifice novella number 1 and my drafted Dark Side novella number 1, I will come back, and this is timed for NaNoWriMo to write the rest of the second book in the Genesis Guardian Chronicles. So basically, from all that, I will sort of trade off my projects, work on one, work on the next, work on the next, as they're all in different stages. Drafting is very draining, so going to editing, which is much more clinical and a lot less, I guess, giving of myself, is a really good sort of cleanse for me. And by the time I'm done editing, I'm ready to, to get back to putting my soul on the paper. So it works really well trading off projects like that. So basically, to be able to work like that, you have to be really well planned out. You need to know when you're going to take holidays. You need to know how many days it's going to take to write a certain amount of words and to finish a certain project, or it's really about deadlines. So on my whiteboard, I have the dates that everything needs to be completed, so publication dates, or when I need to finish different stages, which is why I've also got my weekly and my monthly goals as well as yearly. So that's basically how I work, and I work like that the majority of the year. I tend to take school holidays a lot slower because I have my kids at home, and I do have a break for about 4 weeks over Christmas. But apart from that, that's my year, full on. The other thing is that I'm always sort of researching and collecting other ideas so that when I come to the end of a project, I have something new to continue with. And I think that that's really important, and it's important to have things running in the back of your mind the whole time. So I hope that gave you a big insight into my writing process, and I'm really fascinated by other writers' processes, so I hope that you found mine kind of interesting and totally not glamorous because writing isn't, but thank you for hanging out. Stay tuned for more Monday morning chats. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter and my blog and my YouTube channel. And just quickly before I leave, the Amulet of Hearts, as I mentioned, will be released on the 22nd of September. And I got these beautiful postcards printed. I got myself a poster as well for my office, with all the information about where you can buy it, blurb on the back, website details, etc., etc. If you would like one of these, please send me a message, either on the website, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and I can personalize one of these and post it to you. So thank you for hanging out, and I will see you next week. Bye.
My heart away.